Hey everyone, today we are joined by a star who's been seen in numerous wrestling promotions. He's been involved in wrestling for almost a decade. He's known for his time in DDT, Championship Wrestling, NWA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and New Japan Strong, who has appeared in AEW, PWG, GCW, and so much more. Royce, sir, you've done so much. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me on, and I appreciate you doing your research and knowing what's up, man.
Yeah, I honestly tend to go a little overboard with the research with this channel. That's why we've done 3 interviews with Sal Renaro so far, and we got to I think 2006. So that tells you a lot about just how the conversations go. But the way I see it, I'd rather go in depth than just do a bunch of yes no answers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah, that's what we're here for. We're here to flesh stuff out and make it interesting.
Cool. Now we're gonna hit plugs in a second, but before we do, we gotta talk about the big news. We agreed to this interview before the news came out, before it became public. You are going to be doing a big New Japan Strong show in Japan. Can you talk about that a little bit? Let people know where to see it, when to see it, and all the details behind it that you can possibly give.
Yeah, New Japan Strong Independence Day. It's July 4th and 5th, so American Independence Day. We are going to be in Japan. Both shows are at Korakuen Hall, the world famous, well, maybe the most famous for wrestling shows in Japan, and I'm excited. It's my first time being over there with Jarrell, with my tag partner. I've been over there a few times for DDT and for New Japan, but this will be my first time actually as the West Coast Wrecking Crew. So I'm super pumped up for that. We'll see what we have at the actual show in terms of the shows, excuse me, in terms of our matches. I don't know yet, but obviously I'm sad about Mark Davis's injury. That's always a tragedy when another wrestler goes down. But with the strong belt being vacant, obviously we kind of have our eyes on that. So I'm hoping it's something along those lines.
No, absolutely. And it's so cool to see because New Japan Strong has been growing such an audience in the United States. So to see that brand being brought over to, the home of New Japan, that's super cool.
Yeah, and one thing I will say, not to jump ahead too much, but last year being there for the G1 tour, there were a lot of fans that were familiar with the Strong product, that were wearing West Coast Wrecking Crew shirts and I mean, I brought some and sold them, but also the ones that were like, oh, those are like the first run that, so they must have just already been a fan and whatnot and known what was going on. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how strong the brand does over there. I hope the fans really show out, and I hope they enjoy it because I know we're all going to be really working our butts off.
Awesome, awesome. Guys, be sure to show some support. And speaking of support, where can people check you out, possibly buy some merch? Just let people know where they can follow you and everything like that, please.
Yeah, at Royce Isaacs on Instagram, Royce Isaacs, My High Samurai on Twitter, and Pro Wrestling Tees / Royce Isaacs if you want to buy a shirt, or if you catch me after a show, I still have a few of these West Coast Wrecking Crew shirts, the new design. Although I think honestly, by the time July 4th and 5th rolls around, we're probably going to end up hopefully shipping the rest of those for the Independence Day shows. But we'll see.
Super cool. And guys, we will have links to all of his social media. We have links to the Pro Wrestling Tees and probably to either New Japan's website or something like that. I'll have to look into specifically what it is, but the links will be in the description of every video, including the full one. So go show some support and of course give us a subscription too. That helps.